asking him about unity, like how can we unify? The African is saying, hell no, it ain't no unity. What we gonna unify on? Kumbaya? The African already knows like we're not the same people. But the brother says, I mean, we're black everywhere. That's not a basis for unity. You have to know what your identity is. The Israelites were black. The Egyptians were black. The Assyrians was black. The Libyans was black. The Canaanites was black. The Amorites were black. The Philistines were black. They were all different. You know what I'm saying? And even now, black people in America are black. African tribe, different ethnicities are black. The Falasha are black. Ethiopians are black. Eritreans are black. Sudanese are black. Sinhalese are black. Congolese are black. That doesn't mean we're all the same people. Right. You understand? That so we go with the mind state that, oh, because we're all black, we should do this pan-African thing where we all come together under the umbrella of being black. The African said, hell nah. How we gonna unify under Kumbaya? That doesn't work that way. And that goes to show that the miseducation of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians in America. Right. And the fact that you don't have an identity, that for something so small and trivial, you'll say, this is what we need to unify on. The color of our skin. You're a goddamn fool, man. Give me Exodus 11:7. Let me show you something. Because at all times in the ancient world, everybody was dark skinned. If you go to the walls of ancient Egypt, they have on the walls when they conquered their enemies. You have the pharaoh holding the enemies by the head. All of them are black. They're all their enemies. There has never been in the history of the world a unification of people simply because they have the same color of skin. Go ahead, let me hear it.
This is Exodus chapter 11, verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how that the Lord doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
The Lord put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel based on how he loved the Israelites. So there's a difference between people that possibly from the naked eye could be the same people. Joseph was mistaken for an Egyptian. Paul was mistaken for an Egyptian. You understand? And if you took one of us, or let's just say somebody from West Africa, you might get some people that look like Black Americans, because that's where predominantly Black Americans came from. So, of course, there's still a mixture of in people out there that are God's people, right? But if you take us, there's some people that you just can't mix us up. Like you can't mix us up with an Ethiopian. They have a certain phenotype and a certain look. You can't mix up a Black American with an East Indian. They got a certain phenotype and certain look. Go ahead. You gonna say something?
I was having a debate with a brother, or not a brother, somebody, and we was basically I was trying to prove to him that the Jews in the Bible was black. And he told me based on the DNA, because he doesn't believe in the Bible, so we argue scripture. So I said, during the disbursement of the Jews fled where? West Africa, correct? He said, yeah. He said, if you take, let's say, he was trying to disprove my point.
Yeah.
Then he's trying to say, if you take, say a Negro from North Carolina, this is his example. If you do a DNA test, they're either going to come from West Africa or Europe. I said, you just cut yourself and you don't even know it.
Yeah.
You just said that majority of Black people today will come from West Africa, proving what? Right where the Jews fled. So,
right. Yeah. I mean, basically, that's what it is. If you look at the migration patterns, it's very clear to see that Israelites were all over Africa, East Africa, South Africa, and West Africa, North Africa and West Africa. So what the point of this video is, this just shows you many Black people think how these brothers think. They think that, we should be unified because Africa is the motherland and, we Black, you Black. So why can't we get along? Why can't we come together? And I would ask a brother or sister, I'll say, if that's your belief, why haven't they ever came to get you in the past. Not all, like contrary to popular belief, not all of Africa is, mud huts and people that can't help themselves and hoping the white man drop rice from the sky. It's very civilized in Africa, but and the question is why ain't they doing DNA tests? Why ain't they doing ancestry.com and trying to find their so-called lost loved ones and their family members that were sold into slavery? Why is it you that is reaching out to them and trying to be a part of what they got going on? It's because you are the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That's why. You don't have an identity and you think that, okay, these people are my people because we're all black and that's where we originated from, not even knowing that you're the children of God and that he created you separate. He made you better than all of these other people. Right. And you despise us for saying it. You get upset at us for even mentioning the fact that you are God's chosen people. But I bet you if a white man he sat on a pulpit of wood and put on a suit and tie and stood in Hollywood Boulevard and told black people they were the children of God, they would believe it. But a nigga from the ghetto, you just cannot believe what we are saying. And we're so evil. Meanwhile, you're trying to love some people that don't even love you, right, that don't even identify themselves as being with you. This African straight out told him, he embarrassed them. And it's good. Black people need to be embarrassed. You need to find out the hard way that nobody loves you and nobody is on your side but the Most High. And once you turn to him, then you'll have good success. Then the curses will leave. Then you won't have to worry about the things you worry about every day and every night. You won't have to worry about what it's going to feel like in the morning when I wake up and I wasn't able to put that Christmas present that my son wanted under the tree. What it's going to feel like when it's known that I have let him down and I've let my wife down and I let everybody down because I couldn't afford it. I'm trying to do the best I can, but I'm trying to keep up with the Joneses and keep these holidays. You wake up and come up out of that darkness and turn and face the east and find out your heritage. Then you'll realize like all of this stuff you've been doing your whole life made no sense any damn way. And all of the people that were telling you this and that, they didn't know anything. The pastors, your grandma, your grandfather, they didn't know God. They didn't have the answers. All of the religious leaders, the black leaders that talk so good and eloquent and have all the answers, they can tell you everything was wrong with the black community and lay down all the statistics, but they don't have the answers to how we can truly be fixed. You know what I mean? The moral of the story is stop trying to be everybody. You're going to get you're going to get embarrassed trying to love Africans. You know how many brothers and sisters went to Ghana on that return to Ghana? I'm talking about black people with their stuff together, had saved up savings. You went, brother. You went to Ghana? Give me an experience in Ghana.
So when I went to Ghana, the experience overall, it was a lot of fake love. That's the best way I can put it. Mm-hmm. It was a lot of, hey, welcome, please come. But then when you get there, most of the smiles and things are based on how much they can get from you. And that's why a lot of our people who went there ended up going and then losing a lot of money investing into land where there would be like this, how can I say, the tribes of those land would come back to get the land that they quote unquote sold to them. And now they end up with nothing. Our people
That's crazy.
Stripped of what they had thought they gained at that time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, me personally, in my experience, it was just a lot of fake smiles and just fake love as far as them caring about you there. And a lot of them, I won't say most of them, but a good portion of them know who we are. Mm-hmm. You'll hear them referring to us as, well, at least myself in my own experience, referring to me as Widda, and sometimes just flat out saying Judah. Mm-hmm. Because they know who we are and they look at us more like a lick.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's funny you say that. And thank you for that, your experience in Ghana. I follow about 3 different people. One of the sisters, she's actually still living in Ghana. She's living in Ghana and one of them had came back. But what you're saying is what they say. They say like it's fake love. You can see the moment you get out there, everybody is trying to get money out of you. and charge you double. What do they call it? CDs? What's the money called?
Yeah, CDs.
Yeah. Everybody's trying to get double and get the money out of you. The one sister said there's been about 2 or 3 accounts of sisters being unalived by African men that they were with. And the men and the justice system is so messed up, the dude just get off. And then they take the house. Go ahead.
If I may, a lot of the laws that you see that they'll put up, like their constitutions and things of that nature, they actually come from white people when they were there, and they're not really. Their cultural law is much more higher to them than their actual judicial law, if you will. It's just the
Wait, say that again. The cultural law is more. It's more. They focus more on that than the actual judicial. Okay.
They hold it higher than the actual judicial law, if you will.
Okay.
The judicial law that they got from the white people is basically, it's just fluff. It's just like it's like gift wrap on a Christmas present that's cold inside. Like they don't really follow that. So when you see those laws that they say that they claim to follow, they're not following those. When you get there, a lot of those instances that happen are because they just don't follow the laws that are written there. They follow their culture's laws. I've seen some of the craziest stuff, like men running down the street with blood dripping down their back just because some people are trying to kill them, and people just watch and just, act like nothing happened.
Right. Good night. Good night. Hey, let's clap it up for the brother. I mean, if you didn't know you're not African, you don't learn the hard way. Right. Don't learn the hard way and thinking you're going back to the motherland and things are going to, now that you're back, you're going to be treated and loved as a brother. That is not the reality for many people that go back to Africa. About if you could, I need you to fix this. Salakia, because still dripping? Yeah, it's still dripping. Not this, but I'm gonna scoot over a little bit, and I want you to I want you to Salakia class. We're just having some technical difficulties. But we're gonna get into. That's the wild. Yeah. That's perfect. Yeah. Yeah, I'll just leave it alone for now. So now let's get Christmas. Let's get Christmas, all right? Get these precepts. You could give me Ecclesiastes 7 and 17. Ecclesiastes 7 and 17.
Okay.
You got it?
Okay.
All right, let me hear it.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 17. Be not over much wicked, neither be thou foolish. Why shouldest thou die before thy time?
Yeah, man, this is what we know what this is talking about. This is talking about being overly wicked, man. Being a fool, living a life, or doing something that is stupid. Like tonight, or the nights leading up to tonight, where people were going out and robbing people and burglarizing homes and, doing all type of things they shouldn't do in order just to get some money to have a good Christmas. Why should you destroy yourself? Earlier today, it was a brother, he was talking about how he stole a tree. He stole a Yule log in order so that he didn't have no money in order for his family to have a good Christmas. And I said how, when I was younger, me and my cousin, we ran in people's houses when they wasn't there in order to have some money. Because it's not just about putting Christmas trees, putting, stuff under a Christmas tree. It's more about the spirit of this time. This time, the witchcraft of this time of the season of the year makes a person say, I need to get it. I ain't got nothing. I need to get it. You know what I mean? And when it comes to black and brown people being in poor communities, that's what goes through your head. That goes through your head of how I'm going to get it. Even though you might not be planning on celebrating or buying anything, you like, maybe you just want to have some money in your pocket. but you're seeing everybody else in the most wonderful time of the year having things, and it pushes you to do something stupid and foolish. Read it from the top again.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 17. Be not overmuch wicked, neither be thou foolish. Why shouldest thou die before thy time?
Yeah, man. Why are you going to die? Why are you going to do something stupid for a holiday you're not even supposed to be celebrating and die before your time? Die in your young age. Die before you even get 21. Die before you're 25. You didn't even get a chance to actually live a life. You know what I'm saying? If you could give me, let's get Jeremiah 10:1. All right. Got a lot. We're gonna go into some history. Also.
Come on, sir.
Oh, you got it?
Come.
Let me hear it.
Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1.
This is a bedrock scripture for Christmas. Go ahead.
Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
Learn not the way of the heathen. Listen, we don't even have to go any further than this. Let's just be real. I don't have to go any further and break down this at all. Learn not the way of the heathen, meaning learn not the way of the Gentiles. Learn not the way of these other nations round about you. This is something that has been a thing that Israelites have struggled with since the beginning, since God gave them the promised land, was wanting to do what other people were doing, wanting to, join in what other people was doing. When it comes to a Christmas tree being put into your house in that practice, that is not a custom of God's people. That is a custom of the heathen, of people who are not God's people. Christmas tree comes from Pope Boniface, right? Pope Boniface was a story. Pope Boniface, he was him and some men seen somebody about to get burnt and sacrificed, and I believe it was a tree at the base of a tree. It's a story. If you could give me the story of Pope Boniface, with that idea of taking a tree and putting it in, it. I'm trying to remember it off my memory. I'm trying to jog my memory, but this practice of putting a tree in your house is not a practice of the people of God. So this applies to anybody. Okay, so we Israelites. As us being Israelites, we know that we're Israelites and we know everybody else ain't Israelites. But let's just say that you're a Christian. Even if you're a Christian, this is not a custom of the people in the Bible. So no matter how you want to cut it, we could just stop right there and say, you know what? That's not just Christmas. That's Halloween, Valentine's Day. There's no Mother's Day in the Bible. The Israelites didn't celebrate. Israelites didn't celebrate birthdays. These are the ways of the heathens. Go ahead, let me hear it.
It says the story of the Christmas tree begins in England, where the very young Winfrid decided to enter a Benedict monastery over the objection of his parents.
So Pope Boniface, his name was Winfrid before he, go ahead.
Winfrid grew in holiness and piety, but yearned to leave the monastery and bring the light of Christ to the pagan Germans. Just as the monks had brought the faith of England to a century earlier. Winfrid heard reports that Pope Gregory II had sent missionaries to Bavaria in 716.
If you could, if you could just skip down to the part where, I don't know if it was a man or a woman, but they were about to be sacrificed. And he intervened.
That's like a longer story.
Yeah, just take your time. But the point is this comes from something that God's people didn't even know. Like when the scriptures talk about you're going to serve other gods that neither your fathers known. This is one of those things. This is like that. This is a practice that our forefathers in ancient times, they wouldn't know what the hell this is if they was here today. They'd be like, what are you doing? Jingle bells, and you putting silver and gold on the tree, and you put a star on top of the tree. What is the meaning of this? You found something? Yeah, no sweat. While you getting that, where we got, Jeremiah?
Come on, sir. Second verse.
Let's hear that.
From the top.
You can start at verse 2, or wherever you left off at.
Come on. This is Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. This is another heathen custom. People looking at the sky, looking at the moon, the stars, and making those gods, and being dismayed and wowed at them. Go ahead, Abad. Oh, you got it?
Okay.
Let me hear it.
It's a short version. It's Saint Boniface was a Christian missionary who cut down a pagan sacred oak in Germany to show that pagan gods had no power.
Okay.
Afterward, he pointed a small evergreen fir tree and
he planted, or what did he do?
He pointed to a small evergreen fir tree and thought that it symbolized eternal life through Christ.
My good. Oh, so he thought.
Yeah, come on.
He thought. Oh, he looked at a fir tree and pointed and said, "That tree right there, that's a tree for Jesus." That sound like a Christian. Right. That sounds exactly how a Christian sounds today. And say, I know what you guys are saying, that it's not in the Bible and it's not a practice of them, but this represents the birth of our new king. Like, what bad is that? Like, how can you find fault with me with that? Go ahead,
Come on. Over time, this idea helped shape the Christmas tree as a Christian symbol rather than a pagan one.
So the Christmas tree once was a pagan symbol, but now it's a Christian symbol. Now it's a symbol of, the baby Jesus being born and our new king, and it's Christ-like. And it reminds you of Christ coming into the world and being the light of the world. That's BS. That is a tradition of men. And that is not what the people of the Bible celebrated. Go ahead,
For the heathen are dismayed at them.
Keep going.
This is Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 3. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. Verse 4.
So this man goes and cuts a tree with the axe. Go ahead.
They deck it with silver and with gold.
They deck it with silver and gold. I mean, that is a practice that you can say, like, man, that's definitely what people do with a Christmas tree. Like, people probably do that with other things, but for sure they decorate it with that silver and gold stuff. Go ahead.
They fasten it with nails and with hammers that it move not.
So they put it in their house so it don't move. They fasten it with nails so it just stand up. Go ahead.
Verse 5. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil. Neither also is it in them to do good.
Now, this tree is upright like the palm tree. It must be born, meaning it can't move. It needs to be carried. But don't be afraid of it, because people would think that a spirit is in a tree in ancient times. The Egyptians had a palm tree that they worship. The Assyrians had the tree of life. You can look this up in the record. You know what I mean? The point is that the idea that you come here, you go out and buy a tree that some workmen then cut down, and he done put it into one of those tents, and they sell Christmas tree. You get the Christmas tree, you put it in your house, you deck it with silver and gold, and you look at that as a symbol of Jesus Christ, when the Bible does not say you can't make something a symbol of Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? The Bible doesn't say it. It says it's a custom that is not of the people of God. It is a heathen custom. And Jeremiah 10:1 verse 2 says, learn not the way of the heathen. But because we are hard-headed, stiff-necked people, we think that we can put on what we feel on God. We say, well, you know what? That's how I feel. That's how I want to worship Jesus Christ. What's wrong with it? What's wrong with me, acknowledging the birth of the Messiah and putting a Christmas tree in my house? Well, the Lord didn't ask you to do that. And they don't celebrate. The Lord didn't ask you to celebrate his birthday. That's not you can't find that in the scriptures where the Lord said, any scripture that says to acknowledge Jesus Christ being born in, for eternity. It's not there. It's just not there. If you could, let's get give me Amos 5:21. Let me show you what God thinks about those things that we do that we think in our heart is pleasing to him when it really is not. You got it? Let me hear it.
This is Amos chapter 5, verse 21. I despise your feast days.
The Lord said, I despise your feast days. I despise those things that you do when you are sinning against me every day, when you are not keeping the law of God, when you are not keeping the covenant that I gave to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but you got the nerve to party. And, you got grandma to make that honey ham. Grandma made that honey ham. You know what I'm saying? You got those, you got them chitlins. You know what I'm saying? Them greens. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in the house is getting high. All your cousins, everybody's sitting around waiting for you to roll a blunt like this. Everybody sitting on the couch everybody where cousin at? Where cousin at? Go ahead,
if I may, just to touch on the thing about birthdays. The only birthday, the word birthday is only mentioned 3 times in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Twice was on King Herod's birthday when they unalived John the Baptist,
mm-hmm.
and once was Pharaoh.
Yeah,
but not one of them talks about the birth of Christ.
Yeah,
at all.
Yeah, and it's not. It wasn't a significant thing where there was this big celebration. I mean, you had the Magi, and everybody acknowledge Christ, but bad things happen on birthdays in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? The butler, or was it the baker? One of them got hung by the Pharaoh on the Pharaoh's birthday, and then John the Baptist got beheaded on Herod's daughter's birthday. It was his birthday, on his birthday. So your only examples of birthdays in the Bible, terrible things happen. Terrible things happen on those days. Death. You know what I mean? That's why it's so sad when brothers and sisters think that when you get together for these holidays and you get together for birthdays, that you think you're doing something that the Lord looks down on and he's so well pleased with it. But then you hear about the horrible things that happen. You hear about, I just read about, a murder-suicide that happened like just yesterday. Like, people are so depressed. This is the time when it's the highest rate of suicides during the Christmas season. Then you hear about people, getting unalive. I guarantee you tomorrow, as a priest and prophet of the Lord, you're going to hear about more death. People whose lives were taken tonight. People who off their whole family tonight. You know what I mean? Because there is a demon that's running around. There's a death angel that is going to be out tonight. There's a death angel that will be out tomorrow. You understand? Let me hear some more of that.
And I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
I don't want to smell them chitlins. I don't want to smell that honey ham. I don't want to smell that, I don't know, the pickled pig feet. I don't want to smell. I can't imagine what people be cooking down south. Because I know down south that I know they do a possum. They be doing some snake. They be doing some alligator, some frog. They be doing all kind of unclean meats. You know what I mean? But the Lord don't care about that. The Lord don't care about your grandma's spread. And grandma talk, everybody bow your head. And y'all sit around the table and pray. Like, the Lord don't give a damn about that. He's not in that. Right. And meanwhile, you think he's there. You could drop that out. Give me let's get what do I want to get? Give me Ezekiel 33:11. Salaka, we had I forgot that I had these slides. I could have pulled them up while we were speaking. I'll just put it up while you read.
Come. This is Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 11. Say unto them, as I live, saith Yahweh, I have no pleasure in the death of the wicked, but that the wicked turn from his way and live. Turn ye from your evil ways.
Right.
For why will ye die, O house of Israel?
Why? So the Lord don't take any pleasure in anything happening to his people. But because of our stiff-neckedness and the fact that we see things different and we want to do what we want to do, and we go about making our own righteousness and we celebrate these holidays, things like that happen to us. But the Lord don't take pleasure in things happening to you. Like, you got to really ask yourself, why did these things happen to people on a holiday of all times? What, like it would be better if it wasn't a holiday, but why did somebody die on their own birthday? Why did somebody die on Christmas or the day before Christmas, or take their life, or just these things that should not happen? It's because we are hard-headed people, man, and we don't like truth. And we decide that we rather will seek our own truth, and we would rather have our own pleasure more than serve the Lord in righteousness. That's why. That's why bad things happen at times that you say are supposed to be good times. Everybody will say, yeah, this is supposed to be a good time, but evil things are happening. Evil things are happening to God's people. Someone's going to get shot. Someone's going to get ran over. Someone's going to have a heart attack. Someone is not going to wake up tomorrow morning when the sun comes up. Read that from the top again, Ak.
This is Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 11.
Could you give me some of this right here?
Say unto them, as I live, saith Yahweh, I have no pleasure in the death of the wicked.
The Lord is a man of war. That's why you should not play with the Lord. The Lord will put you to death. But the Lord is also has great mercy too. Right here, he says he don't take pleasure in the death. I'm sorry, read that again. In the death of the wicked.
Say unto them, as I live, saith Yahweh, I have no pleasure in the death of the wicked.
Listen, in the death of the wicked, meaning you probably deserved it. You're wicked. You probably deserved it, right? But even if you deserved it by your own actions and your own stubbornness or your own stupidity, because sometimes people will go out in the world and do stupid things like the scripture we read earlier, foolish things. Like tonight, somebody's going to take a risk. Somebody's going to see a nice car roll up at a gas station and think, I can take a risk. This is the lick I need to hit. And they don't know that person is readily prepared. And guess what? When they thought they was going to make a victim, they end up becoming the victim. Just so they could get some money for Christmas time. Just because of Christmas, they thinking everybody got it like that. And just because of the spirit of the holiday that makes people do these type of things and put the pressure on people that really don't have anything. But it was a foolish choice. Even if it's foolish, the Lord said, I don't take pleasure in the death of you. Even if it's wicked, the Lord said, I don't take pleasure in it. Go ahead.
But that the wicked turn from his way and live.
But that the wicked turn from his way and live. That you stop doing the thing that you're doing. Stop thinking the way that you think. Because the way that you think is going to end your life very quickly. The way that you think is going to have you in a situation where you're calling for help and there is none. The way that you think, you have to change. You have to turn from that way. You have to turn from the evil that you imagine in your head, that you go out in the world and do. Or you will end up in a grave, or you will end up in a cell. But right now we're talking about death. You'll end up in a cell, and hey, that's it. But the Lord don't take pleasure in it. That's it on that precept. That's now let me get we did the Saint Boniface, right? Okay. I want to talk a little bit about Saint Nick. Many of y'all probably already know this. This is Saint Nick. Saint Nick was a bishop. He was Bishop of Myra. Okay. And what Saint Nick used to do, he was a black man, and what Saint Nick used to do was give money to orphans. You know, he had money, so he would give out charity. And over time, I believe when Saint Nick passed away, he was so venerated that people wanted to try to steal his body a lot of times, just to, you know, touch his bones. That's how much people venerated Saint Nicholas or Saint Nick. Now, there's a video I want to play. Let me get this video. Now, this is a video of maybe I should screen share. I'm gonna screen share. This is a video of a man going to find out who is the real Saint Nick. So he went to the actual church in Italy, you know, where they hold the records and everything and venerate Saint Nick. So let me get this together for y'all. Let's see. All right. So okay, this is where I'm at. Is it playing? If you can look, is it? Oh yeah, it looks like it's playing. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. So this is a guy that went out to see looking for the real Saint Nick. So he's at the church in Italy. Okay. And I'm just going to scroll up through. Now, this is Saint Nick. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Can we make it bigger? No, we can't make it bigger. All right. Let me show. I'm just going to scroll up through it. So you got a whitewash image right here. Now, I want you to pay attention to something. This is Saint Nick. This is what Saint Nick looked like, right? And that is in Italy. Okay, now if you go, I'm gonna scrub a little more. Now, if you look at this on the wall, and let me see if I can blow this up for y'all on let me see if I can blow this up. Look at the wall to the right, you see an image of Christ. You can't even see him because he's so dark-skinned. You understand? But this is a man going out to go look for Saint Nick. I thought this was a good video to bring out just some history of Saint Nick. And let me just go back to that image where there is like a life-size image of Saint Nick. That's Saint Nick, okay? Bishop of Myra. He was a black man. Now, the the beauty of bringing this out, it's not about us saying Saint Nick was a black man or nothing like that. This just shows you that the world that you live in is full of lies. Right. That's what it shows you. You live in a simulation where white people have made themselves great. Like, this is not for us to say. I'm not showing you Saint Nick was a black man to say, oh, that's us. That's not why I'm showing you this to show you the lies that you are indoctrinated into, just like the Christmas tree being about Christ and Saint Nick. Santa Claus comes from Saint Nick. If they wanted to be a little truthful, they could at least make Santa Claus black, but they even turned him white, even though he came from a black man. You understand? So yeah. That was that. So if you could, let's get some more precepts. I got some more precepts. Let's get where we at? Let's get Luke 2:1.
Go.
Let me know when you got it.
Go.
All right, let me hear it.
This is Luke chapter 2, verse 1. And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed.
And so all the world, meaning all of the provinces of Rome. Like, this is not the whole world. This, you know what, this is a good precept for the whole world. Like, it's not doesn't mean the whole world. Read that from the top again.
And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed.
Everyone will be taxed under the Roman rulership. Go ahead.
And this taxing was first made with Cyrenius, was governor of Syria. And all went to be taxed, every one into his own city. And Joseph also went up from Galilee out of the city of Nazareth into Judea unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David.
He was what?
Because he was out of the house and lineage of David.
This is another cut for your immaculate conception. When people try to say that Jesus came from, an immaculate conception, meaning God got Mary pregnant, when Christ could not be Christ unless he came from the seed, keyword, seam, sperm of his forefathers, King David, right? And so right here is showing you that Joseph was of the lineage of what? I'm sorry, read that part again.
Because he was of the house and lineage of David.
He was of the house and lineage of David. Okay, keep going.
Verse 5, to be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child. And so it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. And she brought forth her firstborn son and wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger because there was no room for them in the inn.
So keep going. I'm sorry.
And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, watching over their flock by night.
So now we have a view of the birth of Christ. We have a view of what was going on during the birth of Christ. And what was going on was it was a taxation by Rome of everyone. And so Joseph and Mary went to go be taxed, you know what I mean? And at this time, Christ was born. He was born, and at the time that Christ was born, the shepherds were in the fields tending their flocks. Now, there is a much speculation and people go back and forth about this. But when you talk about the shepherds being in the field, naturally people will say the shepherds would not be in the field in the dead of winter, right, meaning December 25th. When you think, or when you say, I'm going to venerate Jesus Christ. Also, the taxation, the Roman taxation, it's a much disputed, but it can be anywhere from April to the fall, the taxation. Still not in the middle or the dead of winter, December 25th, where people say it is the birth of Christ. Okay, so that is a cut also. So we could drop that. Let's get excuse me. Let's get Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. I'm sorry, Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. You know, the problem with our people is that we feel as though, we're doing a service with God. We doing the right thing. And this has happened in the past with God's people. Well, they thought they were doing the right thing, and then judgment came. Who got it? You got it? You got it? Go, you read it. Let me hear it.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
So typically people think that, usually when you do something, you get something happens to you right away. But that's not always the case when it comes to the Most High. And for so long, our leaders have been leading us in the wrong direction that we don't even have true leadership anymore. And we celebrate all type of things that are against God. And it's why the Lord ain't even with us most times.
Right.
We think the Lord is with us because we're a spiritual people. But in our ignorance, we don't know that the Lord is not with us. He can't be with us when we are doing things that are against him.
Right.
It's just impossible for the Lord to fight our battles. It's impossible for the Lord to fight the oppression, to fight the racism for us and be on our side because we're not on his side. You know what I mean? And the Lord is going to bring judgment, man. And so when we talk about these things about you need to stop doing this, you need to stop doing that, it's because we're like a warning. We're like a alarm clock. Now I don't want to say alarm clock, but we're like a trumpet that's blowing. It's telling you this is wrong. This is against the Lord. And it's been so long. It's been over 100 years that we've been celebrating everything that is against God. You know what I mean? And we get it in our head that it's the right thing to do because nothing has never happened to us as a nation of people, as a group of people. I'm not talking about individuals, but the things we do against God, because the sentence hasn't come, because the Lord has not really, really done anything, we think it's okay because it hasn't been executed speedily. Well, God knows my heart. I love God, not my Jesus. We think we know God. We think God is like God is like a little genie for Black and Hispanic people. Like he's in a little bottle. Like I can call on him when I need him. I can, he'll work for me when I need him. Whatever situation we're going through, we think that the Lord is with us. And when, we just building up a lot of wrath from the Lord. And because he ain't just hit us with something, we just think that we're just gonna be able to keep on doing it.
Right.
And that's why Christianity, they're really locked in when they talk about we living in grace, brother. It's a time of grace. Now, yeah, grace is a time period. Like when you have to pay a bill, you got a grace period until now that you in trouble because that grace period done ran out. Christianity, they act like grace is unlimited. Like back in the day, you used to put minutes on your phone. Like, yo, you got unlimited minutes with Jesus Christ, brother. You can mess up now and then later. Listen, you in the grace period. You ain't got to get right. You ain't got to change. You can keep doing what you're doing. Don't worry. Ask for forgiveness. The Lord will forgive you. That's not the God we serve. We serve a God that he's a living God.
Right.
And he's going to punish you for the things you do against him. Don't think that you're smarter than the Lord. You're stupid if you think you're smarter than the Lord. You know what I mean? And I understand our people being ignorant and not knowing, not understanding the type of God that they serve. But once you understand who he is, bro, don't think that you're smarter than God. Don't think that he don't see everything. Don't be a crash dummy. You know what I mean? Let me see. This is another. Give me no. That's what I want. The heart is deceitful and desperately wicked. And then I want to get Mark 3:27.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it?
So y'all always talking about the Lord knows your heart, and that you feel as though you're doing what God will want you to do and you're doing it right, when that's not according to the Bible. Anybody could say, I love God, and God knows my heart. He know that he know that I would do anything for him and to build the kingdom of heaven and all that crap. You're just a person with a wicked heart. And if you're not keeping the commandments and doing what God say to do it and how to do it, I can't believe you when you say you love the Lord, or I can't believe you when you say he knows my heart. Every Christian says that. The Bible says that the heart is deceitful. The heart is its lust and its desire is to do what it wants to do for that flesh.
Right.
Like I said, y'all make God, y'all talk that talk, but you make God like he's a genie or he's like a slot machine. Like you can come and ask him for something, or you can, say, well, I'm gonna do this, and God knows me. He got me. God always got me. Plead the blood of Jesus. And the Lord don't even operate in that way. And that is the sickness of the religion of Christianity that made God something that's like your personal toy to use at your whim when you want to use it.
Right.
You can switch up and say whatever you want to say, and everybody got to say, okay, the Lord is with her. When we can see the fruit, we can see how you act. We can see the people in the Christian inside your church. We can see how they treat each other. We can see the things that the evil things that happen in the Christian church. We can see the molestation. We can see pastors sleeping with men's wives. This has been going on for forever. And it then came from the white man's Catholicism, out of that branch, out of that Christianity. And we already know what they got going on over there.
Right.
So you're not fooling anybody by trying to act holy and act like, you're a person of God. Go ahead, Abad.
Come on, counsel. Like it's crazy that, that you said that, because a lot of black people be like, well, I don't read that Bible. The white man weaponized that Bible. But in reality, it's majority black people who's weaponizing the Bible.
Yeah.
Who's trying to use it to their advantage. Like somebody to try and convince you that they changed and be like, oh, I found Jesus now.
Yeah.
I'm a completely different person. When in reality, it's really us weaponizing it.
Right.
Not the white man. Salaki.
That's true. That's definitely true. But I mean, we the worst. What is the scripture? I mean, the Pharisees, the Sadducees, and the Pharisees, and then the scripture that talk about, the pastors, Jeremiah 23:1. Like this has been going on for a very long time, where God's own people have taken advantage of his people, of the sheep, have taken advantage, and they just see, I can get rich,
right?
I can get money, I can take advantage, I can be this man that's put on a pedestal. They don't really care about what God wants. It's okay, because the Lord has raised up real men of God in the ISUPK,
right,
that do care about what the Lord wants, that do care about what the Lord has said and laid down by the prophets that have came years, thousands of years before, that do keep the Sabbaths, the high holy days, in the Passover, like Jesus Christ did.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you could drop that. Let's get Bind the Strong Man. Mark 3:27. Mark 3:27. You know what? If you're a black or brown person and you consider yourself an Israelite, let this be the last Christmas that you celebrate. And what I mean by that is maybe you're hearing this truth for the first time. And maybe, you're thinking in your mind, like you're wrestling within yourself, like, damn, what these brothers say sound very right. But, my mom, my wife, my kids, I grew up in this church. So many people are going to be disappointed in me and be wondering what's going on with me. You should choose God over man. You should take away all of the fear out of it and trust your mind and search these things out. Don't take our word for it, but search these things out. And maybe by next Christmas, you'll be keeping the commandments. And I'll say next Christmas, Lord willing, because the way things are going, who knows if the earth is still going to be here? We don't know. The way Donald Trump is doing what he's doing, confiscating tankers and, this and that, we don't know if World War III is going to break out before that. But start to get on the road to get right. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Aunt.
This is Mark chapter 3, verse 27.
Mm-hmm.
No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house.
Now, this is talking about binding the strong man. Like, you can't go into no man's house and take anything out of his house when his family is in that house. He's going to protect that house. He's going to die. He's going to fight and die over his family in that house. He'll be damned if you're going to come into his house. You knock on you come in the black neighborhood, you knock on the door as a Jehovah's Witness, you're not getting in that house. You're going to be met at the front door. What do you want? I don't want to hear it, man. Take this damn awake. Take this pamphlet. Anybody, a salesman, anybody, come to that door, that father is there as a hedge of protection. But what has happened to black and brown people, specifically us, is the first thing what the oppressor did was bind the strong man, meaning attack the man, take the man down, take the Native American man down. Many times you look at those old images of Native Indian people, it's only elderly and women. They got rid of the men, they killed the man, or they neutralized the man, meaning they put them among their ranks. Those Native Indian warriors became scouts to fight other Native Indian tribes that helped the white man conquer them. That's what you call today modern day ICE agents. You know what I'm saying? That's what you call modern day police officers and people that will fight for their oppressor. Same thing, that's what the Buffalo Soldiers were. The Buffalo Soldiers get a lot of love. Black men in uniform fighting, but Buffalo Soldiers were helping the white man hunt down their brothers, the North American Indians. Right. They were ICE agents. You know what I'm saying? But you bind the strong man, then you can take advantage of his woman. Then you can take advantage of his children. Then you can, now that you done made the man of no significance and made him weak, now you can beguile Eve. You can beguile the woman like the snake that you really are and tell her you don't need a man. Women's liberation. Your children can be LGBTQ. It's still love. You can beguile a man's house because he's not the hedge of protection like that anymore. And so that's what is happening to us. So now it's not so much as being bound physically because the physical work has already been done. Now it's mentally. The mental work, the mental battle. I'm sorry. Now the battle is mental. Okay. And the battle now is, do I celebrate Christmas or do I not celebrate Christmas? Should I eat pork or should I not eat pork? Should I be keeping the high holy days or should I be, keeping holidays? It's mental now, right? Now your oppressor has put his ideology and his way of life into your head. And now in 2025, you're trying to relearn and reprogram yourself on how to serve God, but it's hard because you so accustomed to living the life of your oppressor, of a European lifestyle. And so now it's not just physically, your mind is bound. You know what I mean? And so that's what we are trying to crack through. We're trying to crack through your nugget and let you see the truth again, let you breathe again. You know what I'm saying? This is fresh water for a people that is thirsty, hearing the truth, hearing that Jesus Christ is a black man, hearing that Christmas is a fake holiday, hearing that all of these holidays are fake holidays, hearing that you are the chosen people of God and the Lord loved you. When you've thought your whole existence was about being black and being a slave and being lower class and dealing with microaggressions in the workplace with white people and just, taking the high road as a black Christian and just living my life. You thought that's what it was about. That's not what it's about. What it's about is you coming to your heritage. This has been written down in scrolls of ancient times that you would rekindle the fire and you would bethink yourself in the lands where you were carried away captive. And that is happening right now in front of your eyes. Right now in front of your eyes. Right now, you on this live, you're looking at black and brown men that have remembered who they are and are trying to live how the Lord designed us to live from the beginning. Okay, if you could, let me see. Everybody good? Let's get Proverbs 11:4. Okay, I'll talk a bit. We'll probably wrap it up early. This will be the last precept, and then I'm gonna talk about slavery a little bit. To talk about on a plantation. I think we'll be got about 15 more minutes.
This is Proverbs chapter 11, verse 4. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death.
Riches, that's I'm sorry. Let's see. Proverbs 11:4. Let me hear it again.
Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death.
That's not what I want. We'll break it down. We'll still break it down. All right. Read it from the top again.
Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death.
Yeah, riches profit not in the day of wrath. Listen, you can be as rich as you want to be, but having money doesn't mean anything, man. Y'all know about what was that? The co-founder Steve Jobs for Apple, co-founder. He died. He had some kind of cancer that was something that was uncurable. One of the richest men in the planet Earth. Riches don't profit anything, but righteousness do. And righteousness is basically just living upright. Living upright, meaning you doing what's right according to God. That's what righteousness is. It's real simple. Just do what God asks you to do. Listen, keeping the commandments is not okay. It depends on your on the demons that you're dealing with. But overall, keeping the commandments and what the commandments commandments demand of you is not hard. It's not painful. The battle is all in your head. Okay. From what I've learned through my experience with things that I might have struggled with is that the battle, 90% of the battle is right here. Is right here in your nugget. That's where the battle is, right? Because if you can rule over your spirit, you can defeat any demon, you can defeat anything that you're struggling with. Okay, but the battle starts in the head. That's where it starts. And if you're going to be righteous, listen, if you live a righteous life, man, there's a lot of benefits to that. There's a lot of things that you can say that, listen, I don't have to deal with. I don't have to go through, I don't have to worry about. It's like half of the battle is done for you because you're putting your trust and you're putting that weight on the Most High on what he said he'll do if you do what he said. And so, like, I mean, it's a win-win in my book. You know what I mean? But always remember that life is about warfare. Life is the battle is with your flesh. Go ahead, you gonna say something?
Salakia. So I wanted to know, is it wrong to look for a battle in the spirit of being prepared for the battle before you get to it, whilst praying to be whilst praying to not be led into temptation? So is it, if I reword it, is it wrong to look for those battles with temptation to seek out where you might find them throughout maybe your day or whenever so be it? Is it wrong to look for them to try and conquer them, but at the same time praying not to be led into them?
I don't think that it's wrong to look for a battle. I don't think, I mean, usually people are not looking for the battle, but you're saying they're like looking for a battle in order to get sharper. Like, is that what you're saying? Like you're looking for the battle in order to do, are you saying you want the battle to come? So it's like a test. Is that what you're saying?
Sir. So for example, oftentimes when I plan out what I have to do for the day, sometimes I look at certain spans of time in the day where, let's say for instance, I used to smoke cigarettes. So when I go to a gas station, or if I'm walking past, I know I'm gonna walk past a smoke shop, something of that nature, I know for a fact I'm gonna see it. So I know there's a possibility that I might be tempted at that point. So I'm already preparing for that interaction, if you know what I mean. Like maybe somebody comes out and they say, hey, you know, I can't smoke the rest of this. You want this or whatever, so be it.
No, no. Now I understand what you're saying. No, it's not nothing wrong with that. And you always want to gird yourself up anyway to if you know you're going to be in places like that and you know what you're trying to do, you know what the new walk that you own, what you're trying to do. And you know that these things are going to come about. You know what I mean? That's a temptation. That's a temptation. And that's where the mind is. That's where the battle is. The battle is not physical, but it's in the mind. And the mind already know, like if your mind says do it, your body is going to do it. So it really is your spirit over your flesh. You already know that you're going to come across people that smoke. You're going to smell smoke and all of those things. So I don't see anything wrong with already preparing your mind for the battle. You know what I mean? It's like putting on your armor. You're about to go outside. You know you're going to go here. You're going to go there. You're going to encounter these things. It's inevitable. You just got to put it in your mind that I'm not going to crack. I'm not going to fall. You know what I mean?
The water.
I'm going to wrap it up. Let's get, I want to talk about just real quick. Now, just to bring it home, okay, when it comes to Christmas was okay, this is a European holiday, a Germanic holiday. You got all kind of things thrown in there. You have the wreaths, that comes from Saturnalia. That's part of Christmas. You have the elves, and you have Santa Claus, who originally was Thor, right? Odin, Thor, turned into Father Christmas, then to an elf, and then Coca-Cola redesigned Santa Claus, and the Santa Claus you have today in the red clothing, that comes from Coca-Cola, okay? The point is none of these things come from your people, okay? Now, on the plantation, our people got days off, and those days off were Christmas, New Year's, and Independence Day. Those are times when you working all this hard labor, you get a time to refresh, you get a chance to eat some food you haven't probably ate, some different meats, some sweets, some cakes, some pies, drink some alcohol, play some music, dance, and have a good time. They call it frolicking, right? But this was the option. You really had no option. You could stay in the slave quarters and say, I ain't gonna come out, but who would have did that after working all year? You're gonna come out and enjoy yourself also, okay? So it was also a time where the slave master would have other slave masters come and spend some days. So these these slave masters would come with their servants, or they would come with some servants that probably were sold to them from this plantation. So for the slaves, it would be like a family reunion. A lot of times a father would be seeing his son again, and he ain't seen him in a year. A mother seeing her daughter, it would be a family reunion because you were sold off somewhere. Okay. What you have to keep in your mind is that your people did these things when they had no choice. We are no longer slaves. Right. We no longer have chains. You know what I'm saying? We are no longer bound, like the scripture we read. You got to bind the strong man. We are free. We have freedom. We have freedom of religion. We have freedom to make new choices. We have freedom to do that which our family we came up doing. We don't have to do the same things that our grandmother taught us, our grandfather taught us. We have freedom now. We have the freedom to serve our God, the God of the Bible, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who was against any holiday, any observance of the heathen. So if you claim to follow God and you claim to love Jesus Christ, then by understanding the scriptures, understanding the Bible, understanding the history of how we got here, you would throw Christmas away. You would put Christmas in the trash and put it in the garbage and turn your back on that holiday and start serving the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Right. All right. With that, that's the class. Let's clap it up. All right. Hey, shalom, Israel. Appreciate brothers and sisters for locking in. Jeremiah, Michael, Karl Masbav, Princess Asa, Leonard Jr., Trooper Shakat, Trooper Batak, Sister Barathanawa, Shalat, Sister Kapa, Karl Masbav, Quadash Ya'ala. We'll be back next week. What does Wednesday fall on next week? Is it before? Oh, it's after New Year's? Don't matter. Oh, so we'll be back New Year's Eve. So with that, Israel, shalom. All right, let's clap it up.